to study for the timing and the efficacy of 3 milligram of pegylated GCSF in Indian breast cancer patients. So as per the paradigm of drug development program with the conventional chemotherapy agents, wherein maximal tolerable, maximum treatment used to be given, same thing, the flaws continued in immunotherapy, and the supportive care for the GCSF was not immune to this concept. In spite of knowing that 60 microgram per kg, the pharmacokinetic data was equivalent to 100 microgram per kg. But the Japanese were very smart. They did the dose finding study in their population. And in Japan in 2013, 3.6 milligram was the dose approved, and it was used. And the 6 milligram vial or syringes were not available. Subsequent to several studies from Japan, the China also did the similar way. And if you really see the European study, which is the last, this Hendrik and all, when they did the study for the generic equivalence of the regulated GCSF, they use 3 milligram dose for European the healthy volunteers. And they showed that the 3 milligram is adequate dose. So it's a very simple algorithm. There were no much of expenditure involved. And we divided, and we also tried to address the most important aspect in our patient management in day-to-day life is the logistic. So the phase 1 part, we took the 1 hour, 6 hours, and 24-hour cohorts in which the PEG-GCSF was administered respectively, post-chemotherapy administration. And we decided to go for the phase 2 cohort, and this is the best among this phase 1. So all these three patients were started with the therapies, and there were 2 centers involved, one in Mumbai and another one in Kolkata. After the ethical approval, trial was registered at CTRI, and the primary objective point was the maintaining the dose density. If the delay was more than 2 days, that was considered as event, and other objectives were studied were the ANC and TLC kinetics, grade 4 and 3 neutropenia, febrile neutropenia, and the need for the additional doses of GCSF to maintain the dose density. As per the typical Indian jugaad, how we use the 3 milligram. So these are the 2 kind of syringes you can see. So the 0.6 ml, the injector from the pre-filled syringe, the 0.3 was taken to the insulin syringe and it was administered. Certain peg-graphyl injections or pegylated GCSF, there are many in the market. There are marking available, and there is also vial available of the 6 milligram. So these are the statistical consideration, and these are the results. Out of 36 patients, grade 4 neutropenia was observed in each patient, as 1 patient in 1 hour and 6 hour group, and 24-hour group then expanded as a phase 2 part. The median age was 50 years. This is the classic diagram of showing the on all the 29 patients where the data was available, 27 patients, and in that we showed that the TLC rise at day 3, day 7, and at day 13 was quite comparable to the established literature. Similar to this, the absolute neutrophil count also go in a similar way. This is the box plot. For the first time, though there are many studies in the past, we also did this these kinetics analysis for the cycle 2, 3, and 4. In just Chris here, this is what we want to know about what has exactly happened to the ANC. This is the percentile distribution chart. If you see the median at day 3 for each cycle, it is much going beyond 22,000, and 5 percentile only had the values less than 500. So if you go by this to just understand very simply, what are the events? So out of the 4 patients who need the additional doses of GCSF, only 1 patient got delayed by 1 day. So she received the treatment on day 17. So that was an event. But otherwise, there were no incidents of febrile neutropenia. Grade 4 neutropenia, I would say it is, as per the published literature, a bit on a higher side, that is 13%. But the primary objective of our study was met, that is 97% of the patient could complete the assigned treatment. And surprise to us, there were no patient-reported toxicities like grade 3 and grade 4 bone pain myalgias. So we have the similar studies in the past from China and Japan, which are shown the similar results. The treatment delay of 1 week was there in the dose delay, the dose dense treatment protocol by the Burstein et al. And when we see really what is the effect of weight, if you really look into the matter, when we consider as a Western patients and the Indian patient. So in our series, our median weight was 60 kg. And the Japanese study also include some of the patients more than 60. And in our series, the range from the 47 to 82 kg. And the distribution with the event, 2 patients were less than 60, 2 patients were more than 60. So it doesn't look like, though it's a small number, to comment here whether weight has influence on the dosing of the GCSF. Already discussed about grade 4 neutropenia. And there's no much of talk about in the literature about the remarkable high response. There are certain patients who have really big response or a large response to the TLC, even with the 3 milligram. Sometimes the TLC goes beyond 35,000 or 50,000, like 6 milligram. Such patients really need to address this matter differently. So to conclude here, dose density of AC and AC breast cancer protocol is maintained with pegylated GCSF 3 milligram. Post 24-hour timing, post chemotherapy time 24 remains the standard, and certainly phase 3 milligram of 6 versus 3 is warranted. There are certain implications. If I have some time, then I can just about there was difficulties while conducting this trial, because a lot of logistic issues are concerned. At Center B in Kolkata, patients were admitted. In Mumbai, it was very difficult for me to admit them and go ahead. There are no auto-injectors available in India. Cold chain maintenance remains a big problem. And we were just talking about the carrying forward to phase 3. Certainly, the timing of the regulated GCS again should be evaluated. That is all. I have to thank my late Professor G.S. Bhattacharya sir, who first introduced this subject to me in 2018. And a very special thanks to Colonel Abhishek Pathak, who enrolled the 29 patients out of 36 at Kolkata. So it is not about just the cost every time, it is about doing the right thing. Thank you very much. I finished.